It has been a chaotic day here in Toronto and the surrounding area. Environment Canada says nearly a month's worth of rain fell over several hours, more than 100 millimeters in some areas, making today the 5th wettest day on record. Roads and businesses were flooded, trapping cars and causing major delays. Take a look.
See where the road ended and the curb kind of began. It was that high and just flowing into the street, like the street had become a total river.
Multiple calls of people's houses with water, apartment buildings with water. A number of alarms, fire alarms are activated when water comes through and trickles into control panels. A number of elevator rescues as well, very similar, malfunctioning elevators.
There was also a major power outage. At one point, tens of thousands of customers were without electricity. Well, the Mayor of Toronto, Olivia Chow, joins me now live in studio. Mayor, thanks for being here. I know that you have had a very busy day. It's been several hours since the major downfall. Give us an update in terms of where things stand at this hour.
We had so much rain, including my basement got flooded a tiny bit, but not too much, thank goodness. We had 650 calls from our 311 services because we encourage people to call us immediately if their basement flood, right? So we know what's happening. And you saw those Union Station. This is the hub of all the transit coming. That's flooded also. Our staff is pumping out water. We had all these traffic signals not working, 500 plus, but hydro is restoring. So yes, at the height of it, there was 167,000 household that is now down to 109. There's too many. And we have city crews out there. There's 60 crew plus a lot of staff 24/7 helping out. And the fire department have rescued people out of their cars if there were 12. And then we have police officers getting people out of the stuck elevator because the power outage. So I just want to thank all our staff that are working hard right now, helping folks out, cleaning up the water basin. And when the water recedes, hopefully soon, we'll have to clear off the debris. Hopefully, some of the roads would be reopened for next morning's rush hour.
For tomorrow, okay. So we're still waiting to see what the situation is going to be for tomorrow morning. But just to recap, chaos on the DVP, on the lakeshore. These are two major arteries in the city. Vehicles, as you said, submerged. There are rescues of people. Thousands, hundreds of thousands without power, or tens of thousands, I should say.
109,000.
Right. So Toronto is supposedly a world-class city. How does this happen?
We are. Climate change is real. This kind of days are going to multiply, especially in the next 15 years. There are more and more severe weather. Whether it's forest fire, flooding. We're seeing it not just in the city of Toronto, it's everywhere around the world. Our city, we have 3 rivers, the Humber River, Don River, Rouge River. There are other small ravines. And then when the water comes, the river comes up and then it floods, especially Don Valley Parkway, which is right in a valley. And it's called Don Valley Parkway, right? And Lakeshore, which is, again, another arterial road, is right beside Lake Ontario. So anywhere that is close to rivers, ravines, and the lake, that's where the flooding is taking place.
Understandably, there are a lot of residents that are very upset. They point to 2013. We had major flooding back then. I know that you have only been the mayor for a short amount of time, but this is 13 years ago, and some of the same problem spots in the city were problems once again. How come some of those areas weren't looked at and fixed?
Yeah, well, our infrastructure is really old. You've heard me talk about how we need more funding. City Hall today, the roof outside my office, it was literally dripping, right? So we don't have water buckets, so I was taking my recycling bin, those blue bins, there's a whole bunch of them lined up in the hallway. The infrastructure is old. Thank God we have uploaded the Gardner and DVP, and we were able to get $2 billion freed up.
Right.
So today at the executive committee, what we're doing is distributing that money to $500 million to TDC and fixing roads and all of that stuff. We haven't been able to do that. We just didn't have the financial power or the might to do it. Now we are beginning to do it.
Right.
The TDC, there are stations, there's a number of stations that are flooded. We know the problem. It's just we haven't had the kind of funding to fix it. Now we are beginning to have it. The $2 billion that we freed up is going to be really helpful. That was a result of the new deal that the City of Toronto had with the provincial government.
Were you surprised when you saw, the staircase at Union just flooding, and there was chaos at Union Station today? That is a station that was recently renovated. Was it surprising to you that there weren't safeguards put in place so that situation that we're looking at right now on the screen did not unfold?
No, I wasn't, unfortunately, too surprised. This kind of big rainfall, you said in a couple of hours, the entire month worth. Right. It is a huge problem. And what we need to do is look at the way that we have big parking lots. If we have interlocking bricks, the water can go into the ground. So there's less runoff, less flooding. So there are mitigation efforts and action that we could take that we will be taking, and especially in areas, in the western area where a lot of the basements are basically flooded now, and that's also the area where they lost power.
So as I said, you have not been the mayor for a very long time. You can't be held responsible for everything that's happened in the past, but now that you are the mayor, what are you going to do to ensure that this situation does not happen, and the city's brought to a standstill once again? And what additional resources do you need from the federal government and the province?
What you will see is we are going to examine every aspect. Did we close the DVP fast enough? If we didn't, why didn't we? What did we learn? And what can we do to prevent some of the flooding in future? We have an emergency management team. They were activated immediately, but do they need more extra muscle power? Okay, and in terms of groundwater, stormwater runoff, we know that we could do better on that, and let us give incentive to homeowners, for example, whether it is the parking pads, it can be green, rain barrels, and all those things that you can prevent the flooding immediately in your area.
In the aftermath of today's storm, how long do you think this cleanup effort's going to take? How long do you think it's going to take to get everything back to normal and the city running once again?
I can't say that. I can't tell you because the hydro folks have not given us a key. They've been fixing things, but we hope. We noticed that the rain has stopped. As the water recedes, we will do the cleanup. Let's look at tomorrow morning whether we could get some of the roads back open. Okay.
Mayor, busy day for you. I know busy evening ahead. We appreciate you stopping by Canada tonight.
Thank you.
Good to see you. That is Mayor Olivia Chow joining us here in studio. Okay, now.